Yes,
Please may I come in, ma'am?
come in.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. Please have a seat.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. So, Miss Pratibha, please tell me about yourself.
Okay, ma'am. I am Pratibha Yadav and I am very much similar to my name, as I always enlighten others with my optimistic thought. I belong to Gwalior, which is famous for stunning natural beauty and rich cultural heritage. It is also known as City of Music. I am pursuing Chartered Accountancy course and have cleared CA Intermediate exam with excellent grades. I have done graduation in commerce from Jivaji University Gwalior with first division. My hobbies are traveling and reading motivational books. Recently, I have read The Diary of a Young Girl by Anne Frank, and I am very much inspired by her thoughts. As she mentioned, I can't imagine having to live like all the women who go about their work and are then forgotten. I don't want to have lived in vain like most people. I want to be useful. I want to be something beside my husband, beside my children, to devote myself to. And I like meeting successful personalities and positive attitude persons and learning new things from them. My friends call me versatile personality because of my adjustable nature. In future, I want to see myself as a CEO of an esteemed organization like Indian Oil. I'm a competitive person and love challenges. My strength is I'm sincere and punctual, and I'm a jovial person and don't like anybody to remain sad in my company. That's all.
Okay. About your family.
Okay, ma'am. There are five members in my family: my mother, my father, and I have two younger siblings. My mother is a homemaker, my father is a bank manager in Nagrik Sarkari Bank, and my both brothers are studying.
Okay. Describe something about your city.
Okay, Gwalior is famous for stunning natural beauty and rich cultural heritage. And it is also known as City of Music. And one famous attraction here is Gwalior Fort. Gwalior Fort finds its place among the fortresses of India, and it is famous for its great architecture and rich past. It has been ruled by many rulers like Raja Mansingh Tomar, Mughal Empire, British Empire, and Sindhya Rajvans. It was also used as prison during the rule of Mughals. It is and Gwalior is known as City of Music because Tansen has developed Gwalior Gharana style of music here. Every year, annual Tansen festival was conducted here, where the prominent musicians from all over the country came here and performed the classical shows. Also, the annual trade festival and annual trade fair conducted every year during the winter season, which is a famous attraction here and also depict the culture of the land. In the Sun Temple, Gwalior Sun Temple is a perfect replica of the Konark Sun Temple. And the Samadhi of warrior queen of Jhansi, Rani Lakshmi, is a famous attraction here. And the Jaivilas Palace Museum is also a great European architecture. And the Darbar Hall of Jaivilas Palace is decorated with a pair of candeliers, which is considered beautiful among beautiful candeliers in the world.
Okay. What is your strength and weakness?
Okay, now. My strength is I am very sincere and punctual, and I am a jovial person and don't like anybody to remain sad in my company. I am a team spirit person and don't like to hog all the credit. I am an enthusiastic and determined girl. Uh, and my weakness is I want to do every work in a perfect manner, and due to it, my personal work get hampered many times as I got scolded from my parents. Many times it happens, so I have to work on it. And another thing that I want to improve my handwriting even more better.
Okay. Why should we hire you?
Okay, ma'am. Mm, If you choose me, you are giving me an opportunity to fulfill my dreams. And I'm a determined and dedicated girl, especially towards my work. And if you choose me, I will assure you and I will justify your selection by working sincerely and honestly. And as I possesses all the relevant skills and also have 3 years experience of my internship as an article and audit assistant and also scored excellent grades in CA intermediate exam. I really need one chance to show my strength.
Okay, good. What is the role and duties of finance officers?
Okay, ma'am. Uh, Finance officers are the professionals who are responsible for the financial well-being of the organization. There are various duties of finance officers such as preparing invoices and receipts, maintaining the payroll, reconciliation of accounts with a bank statement, recording financial information by retrieving information from the financial database, and pay due regard to the statutes applicable in the organization, and preparation of budgets and its comparison with the actual data, and evaluating the cash flow statement, and also assisting management in managerial decision making. That's all.
Okay. As your father is a bank manager, why have you not chosen bank?
Actually, ma'am, CA is a professional degree which is respected in many countries. When bank view is just a designation which is limited to a particular bank only. As chartered accountants has a wider scope of work than a banker. They are special in the field of accounting, auditing, taxation, finance, and also banking. But bank PO is an expertise only in the field of banking. So, chartered accountant's work is a wider scope, so I have chosen chartered accountancy.
Okay. Difference between composite supply and mixed supply.
Okay, ma'am. Composite supply, when we talk about the composite supply, it is a supply of goods or services or both. It's a combination of the goods or services or both, which are supplied in conjunction with each other, which is supplied in conjunction with each other, and which are naturally bundled and supplied at a single price, and one of which is a principal supply is known as composite supply. While in case of mixed supply, two or more supplies are together supplied, but neither of them is a principal supply. Neither of the supplies of dominating nature, and it is not naturally bundled, and it is regarded as mixed supply.
Okay. Definition of as per GST Act.
Sorry, ma'am, I didn't get it.
Okay. Definition of India as per GST Act.
Okay, ma'am. Then India means the land part of India is defined in Article 1 of the Constitution, and its territorial waters and the seabed and the subsoil underlying its territorial waters, the airspace above its territory and territorial waters, and the continental shelf exclusive economic zone as per the Maritime Zone Act 1976. mm, it means that includes the India and the airspace above its territory and territorial waters.
Okay. What do you understand by reverse charge mechanism?
When in GST, generally the liability to pay tax is on supplier, but in some cases the liability to pay tax is on recipient. In that case, we call the reverse charge mechanism. In this scenario, the liability to pay tax is of the recipient instead of the supplier.
Okay. Meaning of amortization, depletion and impairment.
Okay, ma'am. Uh, Amortization is done in case of intangible assets, where the cost of acquisition of the intangible asset are spread over the years, usually on the basis of life of the asset. And in case of depletion, depletion is done in case of natural resources. The cost of extraction of natural resources like minerals, oils, timber are spread over the years on a definite basis. So it is the depletion, and another one impairment. Impairment means when the fair market value of the assets declined below its book value as shown in the balance sheet. The difference is called the impairment, that is impaired loss, which is charged to the profit and loss account.
Okay. Difference between financial accounting and cost accounting.
Okay, ma'am. Financial account provides information about the financial database, and the cost accounting provides information about the ascertainment of cost, ascertainment of profit, and the determination of selling price. The financial statements are generally prepared for a period of 1 year, while the cost statements are prepared for any period. There are no such regulations, there are no such formats. The users of financial statements are shareholders, creditors, government, etc. But the cost statements are used by the internal management only. Financial statements are prepared in the prescribed format laid down by the various statutes, just like in case of companies, the Schedule 3 of Companies Act 2013 laid down the format in which the financial statements are prepared. But in case of cost accountant, there is no such prescribed format. So this is the difference between the financial accounting and the cost accounting.
Okay. What is duty drawback?
Teacher drawback. Mm, The goods which are manufactured in India and then exported, in this case, the duty, tax or cess which are charged on the domestic imports and the imported imports are refunded back to the supplier. And then that refund of taxes, duty and cess is called a duty drawback.
Okay. Holding company and subsidiary company.
The company who controls the another company is known as holding company, and the company who is under control of another company is known as subsidiary company. And the controlling power is gaining through by when holding company invest in more than 50% of the total share capital of the subsidiary company, and he is in the power of the holding company. That company is in the power of holding company, and also if the holding company has power to compose its governing body of subsidiary company, then it will be in the controlling position. So that is holding company and subsidiary company.
Okay. Difference between export and deemed export.
Export means a real export. It means bringing out of India to a place outside India. It is the real supply of goods and services to outside India. But in case of deemed export, there is no real export. It means it is not a supply of goods or services outside India, but it is deemed an export because it is supplied to the 100% export oriented undertaking, and also the electronic hardware technology park, software technology park, and biotechnology park. In these cases, it is deemed as export, and it is applied to 100% export oriented undertaking, and others is regarded as deemed export.
Okay. What if you don't get selected?
Actually, ma'am, it is my aim to work as a officer, to join as a finance officer in such an organization, and I'm confident enough that I will be get selected. But if I don't get selected, then I will know my weaknesses and I will work on it and definitely get selected in my next interview.
Okay. Tell me about your next 5-year plan.
Ma'am, first of all, I would join this organization as a finance officer, and will work here very sincerely and honestly. And along with this, I will complete my CA final examination, and I want to touch every ladder of success. In the 5 years tenure, I want to see myself as a senior finance officer in such a reputed organization.
Okay. Okay. You may go now.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Good morning, sir. I have covered the topics of costing chapter. Cost means the process of ascertaining the cost of a specified article or thing. Costing means the techniques and process applied in the process of ascertaining the cost of a specified product, article or thing. Cost accounting. Cost accounting begins with the recording of income and expenditure and ends with the periodical statements, preparation and the reports which are helpful in managerial decision making. Cost accountancy. It means the application of process, methods and techniques of costing for the purpose of ascertaining the cost, determination of selling price, ascertainment of profit, and also the assisting in decision making. Objectives of costing. So why we use the cost accounting? Its objectives are ascertainment of cost, cost controlling, cost reduction, determination of selling price, ascertainment of profit, and assisting management in managerial decision making. So difference between the financial accounting and the cost accounting. Financial accounting, it is useful, it gives information about the financial data, while cost accounting, it gives information about the costing such as material, labor, overhead, ascertainment of cost of the production. Financial statements are generally prepared for a period of 1 year, while the cost statements are prepared as and when required. There are no prescribed formats for preparation of cost statements, but for the preparation of financial statement, there are many prescribed formats as laid down by the different statutes, such as Companies Act 2013 has given format in Schedule 3 of the Companies Act 2013, which are levied on companies. And the users of financial accounting are the shareholders, creditors, debenture holders, government, etc. While the cost statements are used only by the internal management. There are various processes of costing. Methods of costing are job costing. The cost of ascertaining the each job is known as job costing. Batch costing. It is an extension of job costing. A batch is consists of number of orders, and the cost of ascertaining a batch is known as the batch costing. In the process costing, in the manufacturing process, many times a product has to go through different processes, and the cost of ascertaining the each process is known as the process costing. Operating costing. In case of continuous supply of service, like in case of transportation and in case of electricity, etc., the operating costing is used. In this, cost is ascertained on a period basis, per kilometer hour or per room in case of hotel, etc. It is asserted. It is known as operation costing. Contract costing. It is used in case of construction of contracts, mainly construction of road, bridges, dam, etc. The cost is ascertained of each contract separately, and the revenue is recognized on the basis of work certified by the relevant authority. So it is contract costing. And multiple costing, the combination of one or more methods of costing such as process costing, operating costing, job costing, batch costing is known as multiple costing. There are many techniques of costing like uniform costing. Whenever number of firms in a single industry agreeing on the same, applying the same procedure for the purpose of ascertainment of cost, they are said to be the uniform costing. Marginal costing, it is ascertained by differentiating between the fixed and variable cost. It is basically the variable cost which is charged to the cost of production. In marginal costing, fixed costs are excluded from charging in the cost of production. Standard costing. It is predetermined cost and later it is compared with the actual cost. It is helpful in managerial decision making. Standard costing. In the historical costing, when a cost is incurred after it is recorded and analyzed, it is known as historical costing. Direct costing means the costs which are charged to the production directly, like material, labor and overheads. And indirect costing is which is not directly related to the cost of production. It is write off against the profit and loss account. Absorption costing. In absorption costing, fixed cost and variable cost both are charged to the cost of production. But in case of margin costing, only the variable costs are charged to the cost of production. Classification of cost. Costs are of different types as in on the basis of elements. It is of
three types: material, labor, and overheads. And further, it is classified between direct cost and indirect cost. That material cost is of direct cost, indirect cost, labor is also direct labor, indirect labor, which is considered as known as overheads. Objective basis for direct costing, which is directly related to the cost of production, and indirect cost, which is not directly related to the cost of production. On the basis of function, it is production cost, conversion cost, selling cost, distribution cost, research and development cost, and administrative cost. The function basis, it is on the function basis: production, distribution, selling, administration, etc. And on the basis of normality, it is normal cost and abnormal cost. Normal cost, which is costs which are occurred normally. For example, in case of oil, petroleum, etc., it gradually evaporates during time, so it reduced in quantity, normal quantity. It is a normal loss, but due to some leakage, due to some extra loss which is not normal, it is regarded as abnormal cost. In the cash basis, there are two classifications: implicit cost and explicit cost. Explicit cost means out of pocket cost, which is regarded as expenditure, and implicit cost means some generating of revenue by selling the scrapped material, etc., and selling the old machinery. Some revenue is generated, is known as the implicit cost. On the basis of controllability, controllable cost, which can be controlled by the management; uncontrollable, which are beyond the control of the management. Variability, fixed cost, variable cost, and semi-variable cost. Decision making. For the purpose of decision making, the costs are classified into two categories: relevant costs and irrelevant costs. Relevant costs are considered in decision making, while irrelevant costs are ignored for the purpose of decision making. Relevant costs are marginal costing, differential costing, opportunity cost, out-of-pocket cost, etc. While relevant costs are sunk costs, historical costs. Overheads are of three types: manufacturing overheads, selling and distribution overheads, and administrative overheads. And joint products and byproducts. Joint products means during the same process of manufacturing, two or more products are immersed during the same process of operation, and neither of the product is a major product, then it is regarded as joint products. But while in the process of operation, during the production of one major product, some other products are manufactured which are not intentionally manufactured by the but it is just generated due to the by the scrap of material or by some wastage material of the major product. Some other products are automatically manufactured. These are known as the byproducts. Marginal costing is not a distinct method of costing. It's just a technique, method used for the purpose of decision making, as it is a variable cost ascertained by differentiating between the fixed and variable cost, and only the variable cost is charged to the cost of production. Break-even point. At this point of sales level or the production level, there is no profit or loss. Total cost of production is equals to the total sales. So all the cost, variable cost and fixed cost is recovered, and there is no profit. It is known as a break-even point. It is computed with the fixed cost divided by the PV ratio, that is profit volume ratio, and the break-even point is computed. Margin of safety means difference between the estimated sales minus break-even sales is a margin of safety. Budgets are prepared it's on a predetermined basis by the finance officer for ascertaining for the comparison purpose, for its comparing with the actual cost and analyze the difference between the two. It is used for the purpose of cost controlling and the cost reduction. Non-integrated accounting system. It means in the system, the separate ledgers are maintained for the financial accounting purpose and also the cost accounting purpose. So the work is done separately. The financial accounting and the cost accounting, it is the non-integrated system of accounting. And the difference between the cost control and the cost reduction. In cost control, the total cost of production is decreased by taking some measures. And while in cost reduction, the cost of each unit of a product is to be reduced by analyzing the cost per unit. So it is the controlling the cost of whole production, and the cost reduction, the reducing the cost of each unit or product.